All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, December 7th. We have the semifinal games for the NBA play-in tournaments. We got two games to discuss in today's video. Like we always do, we're going to go through each and every game, so all two of these games on the slate. I'm going to give you my lean on the spread. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about the games, but all of my final plays, if you do want to fade me, and that's been paying off the last couple days. If you do want to fade me, those plays will be in the pinned comment. Last night, things looked good, and then they didn't. So the Nets covered for us. Cam Johnson, my favorite play of the night, made a YouTube short specifically for this play, over 23.5 PRAs. That cashes, but those were the bookends. Everything else in between, you could see, did not come through. Nets team total, took a little bit of a risk there, did not come through. Raptors -3, didn't come through. And then the ones that I called out in yesterday's video and said, these are probably traps, right? End up being traps. Thunder money line and the Nuggets money line. Dropping a womp womp on our head. But like I told you guys, we're going to show up. We're going to own the losses. We're still profitable on the season. I hate having runs like this. We had, this is our third negative day in a row, but it's all public. It's all there. I can't hide from it, right? Vegas is just knocking me out. We got to get back up and fight back here, which hopefully we can do today with only two games on the slate. But on a brighter note here, we do have a clutch ride of the day coming in from Life of Bags. Zach Collins over 10.5 points. We can cash it. He scored 12 points yesterday. So shout out to Life of Bags for the ride of the day. If you guys do want to be the ride of the day, just use that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. Give me an absolute banger of a play. I'm jumping on board with one person's pick and giving you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. We've been getting a lot of comments of how do we know who's the ride of the day? We want to all ride. We want to jump on board. I'm going to be posting the ride of the days on my Twitter as well, at FGuyBoston or my X. So go follow me there, guys. We posted this one yesterday, so that's how you can kind of see where it's public. I'll also put the link to it in the pinned comment along with the final play. So if you don't see a ride of the day linked there, it means we haven't picked one yet, and we can still jump on board with yours. So go ahead and check that out, guys, and make sure to go follow me on Twitter and retweet that ride of the day tweet because we're all riding in this together. But let's jump into game number one here. We're looking at the Pelicans, We're looking at the Bucks taking on the Pacers. Bucks right now 4.5 point favorites. The total is way up there. I don't think we've seen a total this high this NBA season yet. The total up there at 255. So there's some serious same game parlay potential in this game. You guys know I like looking at those big totals and trying to find some alternate player prop lines within those totals, in those games that have the high totals, because there's a lot of opportunities. So you can probably expect some sort of a same game parlay within the pinned comment here, but I'm going to lean towards Milwaukee -4.5. What I saw out of them was dominance against the Knicks, right? 146 to 122 game. They had no trouble playing fast, which they really haven't had much trouble playing fast all season long. They're not the fastest of teams, but they're definitely up there, right? And we know that this Pacers team is pretty much, undeniably the fastest team in the league right now. But if the Bucks keep up with them, I have no problem with the Bucks winning this game. 4.5 points, I'm still going to take that, lay that, just because this is a Bucks team that, when they're hot. Like, everything's going for them. Guys stepping up off the bench, yada, yada, yada. Dame, Giannis, like, it's a good team when they're clicking, and they're finally starting to, like, catch their stride, right? They've won 8 of their last 10 games. Now, the Pacers looked really good against the Celtics, not necessarily offensively, but their defense, for once, showed up. I don't necessarily know if that's, the same type of defense that can stop a Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? He's a little bit more of a force, I guess you could say. And the last time these two teams played, was a little weird. The Pacers won by 2 points, but that was no Damian Lillard, if I'm not mistaken, on the Milwaukee side of things. And then Benedict Mathurin gave you 26 for the Pacers here, which he averages like half of that, right? So I do think that was a little bit more of an outlier, and more likely than not, if these two teams played a bunch, Milwaukee would edge out Indiana. So I'm going to lean towards Milwaukee -4.5 points. The total I'm not going to touch because I get why it's that high, right? Like, that's the funny thing. I'm definitely not taking the under, but the over seems like it's out of this world. And do the defenses try a little bit harder because it's semifinals of the play-in? I'm just not touching the total, okay? That just seems too high to try and get over, but these teams have been scoring so many points that it seems silly to take the under. So I'm probably sticking away from it, but we can use that total to our advantage within some sort of a same game parlay for sure. Next up, we have the Lakers taking on the Pelicans here. I do think that this Lakers team wants it, which I wouldn't have told you that'd be the case at the beginning of the tournament, right? I wouldn't be like LeBron James and all that he's accomplished. He wants this in-season tournament, but maybe just sort of another notch on the belt for him, and he wants everything because he looked like he wanted it in that last game against Phoenix. He dropped 31 points there, and he's played pretty well. And if LeBron's cooking and LeBron's going, I do think that this Lakers team can kind of play above their water level as to what they've been the last year and a half or so. In terms of, I guess, what we're looking at, though, I do think it's a decent matchup. If this spread was anywhere, we're talking anywhere like 4.5 or 5.5, kind of like this Indiana-Milwaukee game, it may be touch to throw down, but I do think that -2 is some value there for a Lakers team, that is at home here and able to say that, they really want this one and they want to grind it out and win, and there's this playoff atmosphere. Like, I was kind of surprised at how hard they're working there. So I'm factoring in, and I know I've said many times, you guys, like the in-season tournament doesn't really get my juices going. I don't think that it gets players' juices going as much as people are saying. I think it's a gimmick. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Like it looked like LeBron wanted to be 24 again in that last game against the Suns. Right from the get, he was fired up, and he's already talked about how he wants to win it. So I'm basing a lot on that, and I think that the Lakers pull this one out. The total sitting at 230 right now. It seems a little bit high for me, 229 on some books, so it's moving up. I do think that this is a spot for an under. We saw the Lakers defense actually come through, cause so many turnovers, like a record amount of turnovers against the Suns, right? In that 106-103 win. They shut down Houston the game prior, which was a few days before that tournament game, 107-97. I do think that this is a Lakers defense that I would say is starting to come along. So on the season, they're 16th in terms of points per game allowed, right? In their last 5, it does look a little bit better here. They're moving up towards the bottom, but still the top half of the league there. And they're closing games out really well there too. So yeah, give me the Lakers here minus the 2 points as well as the under, because I think this could be a 115 to maybe 110 type of a game, which would still be under that number by 5 points or so. And guys, before I do let you go, make sure to go head over to fademe.store. I'm pushing this pretty hard. Obviously, the merch brand we have here on the channel. I'm rocking the Fade Me retro tee here, but we do have tons of cool stuff. Some stuff is even selling out, which is awesome for us, right, during this holiday time. But you want to get your orders in pretty early, guys. Only a couple days left for me to confidently believe that you'll get your orders in before Christmas if you do want to have them in before Christmas. But go check it out, guys. Fademe.store. Great merch. It's not just some BS YouTuber merch. We put a lot of time and effort into these designs and into the product selected. So go ahead and check it out. Again, that's fademe.store. That'll all be in the pinned comment as well. But nonetheless, that's all I have for you guys today. 2 games. The in-season tournament hasn't been our strength, but I think I'm starting to buy into the tournament changes the vibes of things. So hopefully that helps us out here, because we need to go on another run here. Going 2-4 last night brings us to 19-13 over our last 32 games, right? Quick math. So we're still positive in a big sample size ever since we went on that good, I think it was 17-3 run. We have some wiggle room there, but we want more wins than losses, right? Like, come on, man. 3 losses in a row, we'll drop 1 more. And that womp womp should cleanse us, all right? We're going to hit it tonight, guys. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for all the final plays. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.